Make sure. All right, yeah. I'm back, but I can't see all my chats. So it is what it is. Oh, here it go. It's coming back up now. I'm sorry. I was on time and then I had to do this. What are you saying? Oh Lord. Let me add this in. Doop, 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 doop. I don't know. Get it back, Lord. Get it back. I don't know what's going on. Okay. All right. Close that out. Welcome back, guys. I was here and then I had to go out because Facebook was playing with me. Okay. That's right. Now I'm on track. Yay! All right. So, yeah. So I was talking about the new year. I'm hoping that all of y'all have a great new year coming in. I'm sure it will be great for everyone. Y'all know I got this CPAP mask and it is killing my face. I tell you, Lord, I done got what I got the mask on too tight. I think that's what it was. And so that threw me off. And so I'm looking for something. If you're in the chat, you could say hi. I'd love you to say hi, but I'm looking for this story that I'm featuring tonight. And what are y'all's New Year's resolutions? You know, everybody has a New Year resolution some way or another. So tell me about your New Year's resolutions. If you can. Where did it go? I mean, just how did it disappear? I mean, I had it up here and it just disappeared. I don't know how that came to be. Is it? This might be it, but I'm not sure.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, guys,
Nope, I hate this guy.
This
No,
is your host
let me
of
go
the
back.
evening.
I'm sorry, y'all. That is not the one. That is not the one. Okay. Yeah, he is too extra. I don't know where it is. It's a story I watched, and I want to share it with you guys after I find it. I just can't believe I gotta go all the way back and find this thing again. I don't know. I don't know why I gotta go back over this again. Okay. So anyway, I'm sorry I got thrown off, but I am going to talk about this story tonight. Uh, we're going into the new year, people, and we're gonna pray for a good one. But I wanted to touch bases on an important subject, and it is the reason why Facebook right now is so very, very, very uh, critical about what's being put out. This story happened in 2013. It began. Investigation went on through 2016, and oh, I'm telling you guys, the fact that I have to go back and research and look this up because it's not sitting up in my history like it should be, is killing me right now. But I will find the right one. Okay, so this is a story about, some cases get lost in the shuffle, and some things tend to be forgotten, other than families fighting back. But this one has resurfaced recently, and this is about a case about Renaya Wright. Renaya Wright was a young baby girl. I say baby girl, who she killed herself live on YouTube. She hung herself in the bathroom live. I don't know if y'all can remember that case because they did focus on it for a little while, because it was live on Facebook. It was streaming live, and they eventually took it down, but not after the nasty comments that was made egging this young girl on to kill herself. And I wanted y'all to see the backstory like I did because it's very important that we know what some of our youth are really going through. And let me just go to my history again. God dang it. That ain't the one. That ain't the guy I'm looking for. Let me go to my subscribers. I subscribed to his channel. I know I did. Oh Lord. Mm-mm. I can't because that is I got too many subscriptions. So the young lady has been through some things before she committed suicide on the live stream. But it is important this subject and to speak on this subject because this past month, mental health awareness and everything like that we're going through. This is a critical subject that needs to be focused on. And especially with our youth and what's going on today in the world. And a lot of our children today feel that they don't have the proper channels that they can talk to about how they're feeling, the emotions that are going on. But this child here, this is the most saddest story ever told. Because she really did she really did go through some trials and tribulations before it got to the point where it got to. And she was reaching out through social media for help because she had been shuffled through the system for so long. And she reached out to social media for help, as most youth and grown-ups do. Social media can sometimes be a escape for them to go and let some of their frustrations out or talk with other people that might be able to relate to what's going on with them. And that's where she felt she could turn to for help. And unfortunately, at the time, social media was not too kind to this young lady, this young baby, I'd say, because she was very young. And it amazes me how cruel people can be. Now, you will see the reason why she was on social media a lot. No, she was not screened or anything like that because she did not have the proper channels or parenting or even adults that would help her with that. So she was free to be on social media without the privacy settings and all of that. So it was not necessarily her fault. Is this a child? Oh, okay, but this is the story. Let me see. No, that was the follow-up. I'm getting the story right now, y'all. I should have already had it up, but I've been doing a lot of research on a lot of stories recently. This one here just it amazed me. It's amazing how cruel people can be for no reason at all. And so now, because of this, incident, Facebook has been scrutinized, and of course they are going through court cases and everything else because of this particular situation. This was one of the biggest situations that sparked the revamp of how social media puts things out there. And right now, what's the fight against what's going on with social media. But this story here is going to really wake you up. And that's the reason why I'm focusing on this, is because it's a wake-up call. And people put it on the back burner. they forget it. But October was the anniversary month of this particular case. And I wanted to bring it back to life in the social media world so you know exactly how you yourself may even be and not be aware of how it affects other people. So that's what we're going to focus on as soon as I find this. I can't believe I done. All right. And I cannot find the case. Killing me. I'm telling you, jeez Louise. Oh, I can't say that. Sorry. I take that back. Stuff you can't say. I'll find it in a minute. I mean, it was right there, and then you know how when you have stuff right there, and then it just disappears out of your reach. Like, how did it disappear like that? And you had it right there. Mm. I can't. If I can't find it, I have to touch on it another time. But I will tell you the story. Um, oh, from a very, very well, since she was born, she was in and out of foster care. Renaya Wright. She was in and out of foster care, placed there by her own mother. So her mother had her. And then when her mother got tired or she got fed up at times, she wound up putting her in foster care. But before even that, she, of course, was called on by Child Protective Services. And they winded up taking her at times. And then she would go back. So the story goes that in the process of her being flipped back and forth through the system, um, she was being molested by some of the foster parents. And when she went for help, they didn't help her. Her mother didn't help her. Her mother stated that she was a troublemaker. Her mother was one of those who picked her boyfriends over the child. And it was a really bad relationship between her mother and her as a child. Um, so her mama wasn't really a responsible parent per se. Let me just put it that way. And in the process of this, she was a fifth grader. So that tells you how young she was when she passed. And is that it? Hold on just a second, guys.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, guys, we'd like to welcome you to the show.
No. I had to leave him. Okay. Um. All right. So she was a fifth grader that killed herself on Facebook. And while she was streaming and calling out for help and saying that she was really going to do this, one of the people in her chat was her own mother saying, "Do it, do it." So that tells you how the system failed her. She felt that she was not loved. She felt that she was not worth anything because she had been tossed from home to home to home. And in most of the homes that she was in, she was molested, beaten, half to death. She had 60 lashes on her back. She had been chewed up and spit out by the system. And nobody would have been the wiser because every time she was on live or whatever, she was always smiling. When she went to school, she was always smiling. And she had a bubbly personality through all of the rigmarole and all of the beatings and in and out of hospitals that she was going through. Not to top it off, she was suffering from a disease. Immune deficiency disease or something like that. So and I need to make sure that I'm saying this right. No, this is not the right case. It's not Shania Wright. Okay. Bam. It is not her. And let me go back. Let me go back. It is not. Shania Wright was the one who was beaten in school. And I had just got done watching that. She was the young girl who got beat in school. This is not the case. So let me rewind and let me correct myself. I take it back, guys. I take it back. That was not the right case. But I was just watching that case of Renia White. Sorry. Renia White was the young lady who went to school, got beat up, and died by a bully. So that's another bullying case that I'm gonna come back to. Okay, so I've been researching on youth bullying. Okay, and so all this is in my head. So that was the most recent case that I had reviewed because things have surfaced a little bit with that, and that's a little bit more newer case. That wasn't the case, so that's why I couldn't find what I needed because I was looking at the wrong case. That's another bullying incident, and I'm sure y'all have heard about that one. That was really quite recent. Um, that was not the child's name. That's not the child's name. That's another bullying case where she went to school, had a fight. Here it go right here. Here it go. Here it go right here. Yes, I understand and wish to proceed. Okay, let me pause it. Okay, I take it back. This is Nikita Vinant. Nakia Nia Naika. Okay, let me get it right. Naika Vinant. I'm sorry. That's the one for the Facebook thing. Okay, I'm sorry. Let me get it right. I've been doing too much research. It's in my head. But we will talk about Shania Wright. That's going to be on another segment. That's the young girl. She went to school, normal day. Everything was fine. She went to school, got beat up by her bully, which she has been reporting several times to her teachers, her principal, that she's been bullied by this girl. And the girl finally beat her to a pulp. And next thing you know, she's in the hospital dead. That's another bullying case. But we're not going to talk about that tonight. Tonight, we're going to talk about the Facebook case that got everything going with all of these flags. So this is why you can't say certain things. Hey guys, hey. I'm sorry, I wasn't looking at chat because I was trying to find this case here. So this case is very, very important because this is why social media has been flagged and has been scrutinized and has been taken to the actual Congress about how they monitor what they put out there. Okay, and so some things are appropriate for children and some things aren't. And some people who are parents have to monitor their children when they are online because even though you think you know what's going on, you don't. In this case here, everyone is going to watch it with me. Let me do this right here. And everybody's going to watch this case with me and listen carefully. Now I hope y'all can hear it when I play it. Let me make sure y'all can hear it too.
Hundreds of people watched, some trying to stop the teen, and others coaxing her on, including her own mother in a stunning allegation.
I am sick and devastated.
Okay, y'all watch this now.
The homicide detective came, and then that's when it just started rolling like it was real, that my baby was gone.
Okay, y'all.
How good are you at making a life-altering decision?
Listen
Could
carefully.
you make a life or death decision at the drop of a dime? Most of us won't have to. You see, we live in a world where we have the luxury of allowing fate to carve our paths. We react on impulse, but if you were forced to make a life or death judgment on the spot, could you do it? I want to play a game. It's called Keep It or Give It Back. I will ask you a question. You will answer these questions in your mind. The answers are simple. You have two choices. You can keep it or you can choose to give it back. The only catch is you must give your answer in the time allotted. If time runs out, then you lose, and we let fate decide the outcome. The national charts show that just under 500,000 children are in foster care at any given time of the year. Some children that are adopted receive the best future, the best homes, a loving family. And then there are those who are pushed around as pawns, and some even fall by the wayside, those like Naika Venant. The world would make way for her on December 15th of 2002. She would navigate through life under the umbrella of social media, the one place where attention is the only currency received from posts or pictures. And who else would crave more attention than a child trapped inside of the system? Unfortunately, Naika would fall victim to these circumstances, and the system is completely rigged. The average child costs just under $3,000 a month to support. Times 20 heads is about $60,000 per housing facility. But the adoption process is where the money amplifies. The ones deemed less adoptable go to nonprofit organizations. Those considered valuable go to the independent adoption agencies. If you choose to adopt with an independent agency, then add $15,000 to $40,000 more to that already $60,000 a month that they are making. Only adoption through independent agencies will take anywhere from 6 to 8 months to complete. So the least they stand to make off of one child who stays there a total of 6 months is $375,000.
That's right, Johnny. The participant in this rigged system has just won a total of $375,000. Now tell him what he's won. That's right, you have just won an all-expense-paid trip to the taxpayers' pockets. That's right, folks. We all know that foster care agencies are government funded. That's right. There was a total of 631 substantiated allegations of abuse, neglect, or exploitation of a child. Did I mention that every last one of these claims came from only one city? And that's not all, folks. This was all made possible and done while in the care of Child Protection Services. And you paid for it.
Those statistics remain around the same number every year. And in the year of 2017, one of those claims would belong to Naika. Now, her trouble started, when she was young. She was only 4 years old. She would be left unsupervised at the house, but not just unsupervised. She wasn't being fed as well. So DCS gets a hold of the store and they decide to investigate. But when they get to the home, they realize that not only was she being left unattended, not fed, but the house didn't even have running water. And that would be their first run-in. Naika was only 4. After this incident, it wouldn't take long at all before her and her mother would be face to face with DCS again. A year later, August 2008, Naika was diagnosed with a chronic health disorder. Now, when she initially complained to the school staff that she was sick, her mother got a hold to it. In the report, it states that she told her that she was a liar, she was faking the illness, and nothing was wrong with her. Turns out those allegations were false, and Naika was telling the truth. Her mother even threatened to send her back to Haiti so that her life could be better. Now, as far as the relationship between the mother and the daughter, I don't speak on that. But these are the facts, and this is a part of her story, so I must tell them. So, we've had incident after incident. 2 years, back to back. But you want to hear something else? The next year, another incident would occur where once again Naika and her mother would be face to face with DCS. Now, in this report, it states that Naika was, beaten so badly with the belt that she had over 30 lashes on her back, as well as lashes being found on the arms and leg area. Now, you want to know what happened and why she received this whooping? She received this whooping because she was there home alone with a male babysitter. And I guess she walks in and sees Naika engaged in an adult act. But that's not the only crazy part of the story. Naika was 6 at this time. Do you want to know what the report states? That Naika was the initiator of the act. Now, how in the hell a 6-year-old can become an initiator of an adult act is beyond me. That makes absolutely 0 sense. So when the state finds out, they decide that the repercussions of the mother's actions will be rewarded with Naika being taken away and placed in foster care. 2009, this will be Naika's first encounter, where she's basically property of the state. So it's 2009, she's only 7 years old. The facility that she was staying at would be found guilty of excessive corporal punishment, which basically means she was being beaten. Now, in that same year, she would contract a urinary tract infection. So when she gets to the doctor, turns out that it was sexually transmitted. So not only was she being beaten by who's ever in charge of punishment at the facility, but she was also being violated. And the violation came from someone double her age, a 14-year-old young man. So you can really only just imagine the pain. So much pain that she had been through already at a very young age. But even through all of that, she would manage to keep a smile on her face. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but DCS is supposed to protect the children. They're supposed to be the savior. So what the hell is going on? I mean, something that was put here to help. It was supposed to be for the better good, but everyone doesn't benefit from this system. In fact, some get lost in it. So knowing what you know, that the foster care system manages to take hundreds of thousands of children that were homeless off the street. They feed them, provide them housing, take care of them. But on the other hand, you have those instances where it seems like everything is negative. So if you had the choice to either keep the foster care system or give it back, meaning it wouldn't exist anymore, which one would you choose? But before you choose an answer, remember that there are hundreds of thousands of kids who actually benefit from this system. However, would you give it all back to save the ones who don't, the ones who are abused, neglected, exploited, and oftentimes killed? Knowing that information, would you keep it or would you give it back? If you feel like you needed more time to think about your answer, then congratulations, you're still human, because life-changing answers come from an emotional place. Speaking of emotions, there's this thing they have called social media, and social media has basically managed to suck the empathy out of everyone. But the bright side is, you're only less empathetic when you're on these social media sites. Because if you saw the same things that you see come across your feed every day in person, it would probably be a totally different response. Such as the cyberbullying, people being threatened, ridiculed, or maybe the violence that you see day to day. But see, that has all become okay because we are allowed to look from our little bubble. We can stare at the screen, look at all these horrible things, but never have to encounter them in real life. But see, somewhere beneath all of those funny memes, the pages that have thousands upon thousands of followers, even beyond those social media posts that are ridiculing someone, putting them down, if you look far enough into that post, you might find a lost soul, someone looking for acceptance, someone that is hurting from what's happening over the internet. But we don't really see that person because we're too busy leaving laughing emojis. Some even joining in to help ridicule that person, not even knowing who they're talking about or who they're talking to. Maybe if the world wasn't in their own world on social media, they may have noticed Naika.
How you gonna say that after you say hi? You know, she looked at her and she's like, hi. And she's like, I hate that lady. You a mess, Beatrice. She's going, no, I hate that lady. I'm not getting any viewers. They hate me. Thank you, Greg. They hate me, huh? You said what? Everybody hates me? There's babies here. I hate babies. Shut me too, they're annoying.
So she would end up spending from January of 2009 all the way to June of 2010 in foster care. But she would be returned home. But when she returns home, things don't get any better. Her mother would often report to the social workers that she acts like she's grown and that she cannot distinguish between appropriate and inappropriate activity. So from 2010 in June till around 2014, things would be an up and down ride. But in 2014, they would hit another bump. She would be turned to the foster home for roughly under 2 months. She would be there in April of 2014 until June of 2014. So she returned home with her mother. Things were still the same. Nothing changes. And by the year of 2016, things would take a real drastic turn. April of 2016, her mother goes up to DCS. walks through the front door, hands her child to the social worker, and said she's had it. She's your problem now. Hands her daughter off, walks out of the door, and from then on, she'll remain in foster care. For the next 14 months, Naika would spend her time in 14 different foster homes with 3 episodes of removal. So in between this time of being shipped from home to home, Naika starts to rely on social media to make her feel loved. And that's when all the trouble begins. She is now trapped inside of the system, looking for attention from someone. After being switched between so many homes, now she's at the point feeling like nobody wants her, nobody cares. Also, during the time that she's being shipped from home to home, she's also being violated. Basically, deja vu from her younger years. Now, during the time that this was all going along, she was constantly pleading with DCS to send her home to her mother. She would even plead to her mother to let her come home. But at this point, she doesn't want anything to do with her. She refuses to take her back. All while this was going on, she maintained a constant presence on social media and started to garner the attention of people who just like to ruin people's day, talk about them, get on their live stream and say negative things. And this was becoming an ongoing thing every time she went live. So after experiencing these horrible things for so long, she would make a decision. In January of 2017, she would go inside of the bathroom stall at her foster home. She would end up going live for a few hours. She would talk a couple of hours, basically just rant, tell how she felt, how she didn't belong here, no one loved her, etc. So all while this is going on, the people in the comments were all basically egging on the notion of suicide. So peer pressure is something that a lot of people cannot overcome, and I feel like that this played a major role in this situation. She was always seeking acceptance because all that ever happened to her was that she was given away time after time after time after time. Now count those up. Between the last 16 months of being switched between 14 different homes, that's a lot of people. That's a lot changing, especially for a young child. So after the trolls were done having their way with her, people picking at her, talking about her, they kept telling her she wasn't gonna do it. She wasn't worth anything, that everything she was saying was true about herself. So she sets this camera up, but when she sets this camera up, I want you to understand that when she sets this up, it takes her a fraction of a second to place the camera in the mirror pointing towards the stall where she would eventually hang herself. And then I truly sat and thought about the fraction of a second it took her to set that camera up, and I realized she had planned this. This is something that she had practiced out. When you start to fumble with your camera and trying to get the right angle, you know how long it takes, but it didn't take her any time at all. And while she was standing there, they were constantly commenting, saying, "Do it, do it, do it. You're a faker. It's not real. You're putting on a hoax." So guess what? She does it. But it gets worse, because after she initiates the action, people were still there commenting, saying she was faking, she wasn't doing it, and this was all a joke. So the video begins to pick up numbers, and it circulates widely, goes viral. Facebook decides to take the video down. They got it down pretty quick. So everyone who had saw that video decides to head over to her page. So they go to her last post, her last live video, and they all begin to comment. This was fake, it's a hoax, it was all a joke, she's not dead, yada yada yada. People had even already made memes that they were posting on the thread of her tying it around her neck. Everyone's having a good time on this post, laughing. She's not dead. The same comments over and over and over that are still up to this day. Only she did do it. Just a few hours later, After the tragic event, she would be pronounced dead at the hospital on January 22nd of 2017.
I am ready for love. Why are you hiding from me? I'd quickly give my freedom to be held in your captivity. I am ready for love. All the joy and the pain, and all the time that it takes, yeah, just to stay in your good grace. Lately I've been thinking maybe you're not ready for me. Maybe you think I need to learn maturity. They say watch what you ask for, 'cause you might receive. But if you ask me tomorrow, I'll say the same thing. I am ready for love. Would you please lend me your ear? I promise I won't complain. I just need you to acknowledge I am here.
So in the end, she just couldn't take it. She decided to give up, like a lot of others do out there. I guess the feeling of being unwanted, unloved, especially by the people around you, would do something to your mind. Shortly after her death, allegations would rise that her mother was on that live where she eventually hung herself, and she was leaving comments saying that this is what you get for being basically a fast-tailed little girl. And I don't know if those allegations are true or not. They still haven't been proven to be true because, you know, the Facebook page was under a different name, and she had so many trolls over there by that time. I wouldn't put it past them to, you know, go on the video, leave comments, etc. I was disgusted by the lack of humanity presented, because if you go on her page to this day, those comments are still up, and I want you to just scroll through the people, look at the things that they were saying. I just sat there reading like I know a lot of you must have forgot that you even came over here and posted this on this child's page. And believe you me, I went back and forth with myself about exposing every last one of you. I literally screenshot every comment that was negative, and I was gonna post them in this video, but I had to stop myself and remind myself that I just don't get down like that. Each one of you should be ashamed of yourself. It's very sad. Mental health is real, especially in these dark days that we live in now. I'll never know what it takes to be in the mindset of someone ready to end it all. But I understand that through all the scrutiny, through all the pain that she'd experienced, through everything that she went through, that social media just doesn't care. People take on a whole nother state of mind on there. So knowing what you know, she's not the only one who lost her life behind the ridicule of social media. A lot of people have lost their lives behind the ridicule of social media, whether it be starting with mental health and someone takes their own life, or whether it be an argument that started that ended up in violence. Social media has accomplished to destroy a lot, but it's also done a lot of life-changing things for people. Some people watching this video may have never even met the person, that they're sitting next to if it weren't for social media. So knowing if you could go back in time and take back the invention of social media and bring back all the lives that were lost, would you do it? Before you answer, remember that everything that exists in your world today might be completely changed, meaning some people might not be around. Are you willing to give it up? Basically, I guess I'm willing to ask, are you willing to give up your life for someone else? In order to get back every soul lost on social media, would you do it? Remember, some people might not be here. Your boyfriend, your husband, your kids. Maybe you may have never met that best friend. Would you give up social media to bring back all those lives? Would you keep it or would you give it back?
Yeah. So that is the story and of what I wanted to talk to y'all about. A tragic story. Like I said, I got the names mixed up, but y'all saw the story that I wanted y'all to see. I'll talk about Renaya later, but this one here is having to do with the cyberbullying. And all in all, as I went through this case, because he just summed up the history of the case, but I did go and do some research. And her mom is sitting up there crying, whimpering, saying, oh, now I got to bury my daughter, blah, 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 this and blah, 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 that. Like she had no fault in what this child did. I don't care if she was posting on the thing at the time. Before that even occurred, she allowed the system to ruin this child's life. But my key question, as y'all saw the video, she had a little brother. And as I was going through this story, I wondered what has happened to her brother. Because the mother was not very responsible with the daughter. So who knows what's going on with the brother? The system failed. The people failed. It takes a village to raise a child, but not that type of village. I don't want y'all raising my child. If anything, that whole village right there was the worst village she could have. And it's not like she went for help, didn't go for help. She was in and out of hospitals, people. The doctors reported it to social services, to child protective services. And yet, they did nothing but shuffle her from home to home. And while she was in the care of the state, she was raped. She was beaten. That was while she was in the care of the state, before she even got into another foster home. And this story is one of the stories that is really a symbol of what they are fighting for with social media in Congress today, as far as minors and youth having access to certain social media platforms. And so his question was to save lives. You know how many lives have been taken on live on Facebook, on TikTok, on Instagram, on wherever you could get a video where you can see it in social media platforms. But this one here really struck me the most because it was the very beginning of how things were to come with the social media platform. It was like a chain reaction after that. And why would you think it was a joke? Why would you watch somebody sit there and struggle for breath, for their last breath, and say that that isn't happening? Because you're stuck in a bubble and you watch too many movies and you don't realize that a live camera going live is not live? Why did not no one call 911 right away and help this child? Because she was speaking on it before she did it. And why would you egg someone on that young, a baby? Because that's what she is. She was a baby. And why would you take pleasure in seeing someone that young die in front of your face? I really want to know what is going on here. Because it got worse. After her, it got worse. It was case after case after case after case after case. It wasn't just her, but that pinnacle point right there was something that should have woke people up right then and there. That particular case, we can't get her back. She can't come back from that and live her life or try to get it right. And her rotten mother is still sitting up here on this earth today, chilling and doing whatever she want to do. And yes, I called her rotten. Because you kept throwing your child in the hands of people that did not love her, did not want her. And still showing pictures of you hugging up on her after you beat her. After you daggone near beat her to death. And you gonna sit up there hugging on her. After you chose a man over your child. And I must say children, because I really don't know what happened to the son. I have no idea what has happened to him. But I sure as heck know that his sister sure did go through hell and back. And that just hurt me to my heart. I had to show this because he brought up really good key points. What are we doing to help our children? We're not doing enough. We are not doing enough. And just because you're in your own little cozy bubble and you walk by and you see things happen, or you right next door to hearing things happen and you don't do nothing, you really are failing. You're failing the child. You're failing the the victim of who's being beat on. And it's men, women, all of them go through it. It's not just the children. It's a repetitive cycle. But it kills me that this child was felt by so many. It wasn't like it was a hidden thing. She reached out to any and everybody she could. I'm sure she probably reached out to her friends, but she didn't tell them how bad it was. I'm sure she didn't tell them that because it's embarrassing. Why would I tell my good friends who are having such a happy-go life what's going on with me? Right now, I probably have no one watching my stream. And of course, I don't care, but I'm an adult. I can tell the difference between reality and fake. And I probably have no watchers, and it really doesn't bother me. I am not going to let you off me, okay, for something like that. But to have a young child who thrives on this, who wants the attention, who wants to be wanted because they're not wanted anywhere else. Can we give them a little support? Uplift, not down. And if you do catch a child or youth up there that's on social media and they're trying to do something and whatever, try to inspire them. You don't tear them down. You don't tell them they're ugly. You don't tell them whatever, you're fake, and blah, blah, blah. You grown adults, you are talking to a child. So you are influencing it. And some of those people who made comments have children of their own. That's what makes it so bad. Some of them were up there and they have their own children. And they didn't think enough of their own children to say, can I help you? How can I help you? But as soon as that girl was found that she was dead, oh, everybody showed up at the funeral, all the whole family, friends, and people she didn't even know. That ain't helping her out right now. She can't appreciate that now. You have to give people their flowers while they're living, but not tear them down to death. And that's what they did to that young girl right there. And you think it's okay? It's not. But I want y'all to watch that and review it if you can. It's on YouTube. It's on YouTube. And her name is Naika Venant. Naika Venant. And I chose this particular case to start with in my platform of mental health and fighting these things. I chose this particular case to start with. The other case I'm going to talk to you about later, Renaya. But this case here, because it is on the anniversary of the month between the times that she had reached out. It was between that end of December and January month that she was really, really reaching out for help. And no one helped her. See, I don't care if I don't get one view, but a child who's up there trying to get attention or they're talking out what's going on their daily life or something, they care. They care very much because they need it. It's not that they don't get certain attention, but for some reason, they thrive on some type of security, friendship, companionship, something other than what they have on their daily life. So let's be mindful, people, of everyone that's out there trying to make a come up or trying to get their platforms out. Let's be mindful of who is saying what and what they're really saying. Now, do you support butt naked tittiness up on the social media? That's what you like? Are you wasting your time? I mean, it's okay to support that if you like it, but I mean, can you find something constructive on social media to watch sometimes? I mean, I love gaming. I do that from time to time, but don't forget that the Spanky Live show is always here, smacking you into reality every time. You can go to the SpringsSpankey page on Facebook, and you will always get a dose of reality somewhere up in there. And I'm not going to stop that. I don't care if you like it or not. That's how I'll be doing, you know. That's what my show is about. I'm going to put it out there, make you think about it, because that child there was let down. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful girl. And I mean, they just tore her apart. How I feel about that? I feel like, you know, why in the world would I support the fact that her mom is going to sit up there and she's going to sit up there and she's going to cry and say, now I got to bury my daughter. But you didn't do nothing for her. You didn't even believe her when she said she was sick. She didn't have a long life to live at all. Not at all. And I want y'all to look into the eyes of youth. I want y'all to take a look and look into the eyes of this beautiful young lady who is no longer here. And all because she was just wanting to be loved. She was just wanting someone to believe that she is real. When all they said was she is fake. When even her mother, her own mother, would not believe in her. Oh, but you could take good pictures and smile and cuddle up with the little social media cam or whatever, make it look like you all happy-go-lucky. Oh, I'm going to speak on it. He didn't want to speak on it. But I'm going to speak on it. Because the facts are that she kept putting her child in and out of child protective services. And she's sitting right up there, blah, blah, blah. And you got a son and a daughter. Where's the son? That's where I want to know. Oh, don't think I won't do research on that and get back to y'all. What happened to the son? Matter of fact, they got something up here with a mother sitting up there crying on TV, telling her, come on, I have no pity for you. And why are you crying for your daughter now? You didn't cry for her when she was up in the hospital several times, when she was sick, when she was there because you beat her there. You failed her. And then the system failed this child. Oh, you say it benefits some kids. Now, you don't want me to go there with what I think about the some kids it benefits. You don't want me to go there with that. But I'm going to tell you, if it does benefit some kids, how come she slipped through the cracks? How come her and about 100 other billion more have slipped through the cracks? And what they do is, when they realize they can't trust the system, they go on the streets and they run away. And now you have children out there on the streets and they rely on the little boogeyman. You know who the boogeyman is? The boogeyman is the one that grabs those kids up and puts them out and sells them for money. And puts them out there on the street for pedophiles or people who want to just have a good time because they can't get it nowhere else. Or exploit the child on media with trash tapes and all of that stuff. It's more of them out there. It's not just one or two. And I won't get into who it benefits and who it doesn't benefit because I'm not going to go there right now. But if you really want me to say it out, but I ain't going to go there. But I'm saying, as a community of people, look at what you're doing. If you were not ready to be a parent, and there's a family member or there's somebody that you know you can trust that will keep your child safe, give it away to that person. Find somebody you can trust. Let them know I can't handle it right now. Don't just cautiously throw the child to the wind. Check out the agencies if you're going to put them in a service like that. Check it out. Make sure that they're okay for your child. Because after all, that is your child. Whether you wanted it or not, you still have to be responsible. And for those of you who can't control yourself, your anger, your emotions, if you're not going to seek help and you're taking it out on your children, go seek help, proper help, and make sure your children are safe. Because eventually you will get old. Eventually you will get to a point where you cannot take care of yourself again. You know, for babies, we can't take care of ourselves. But then when we get old, you can't take care of yourself again. And a young person will have to take care of you. And you kill off your young, who's going to take care of you? And don't be upset if you wind up in the system. I'm just saying. Spanky just telling it like it is. This here case was the saddest case I've ever seen. I've seen some sad ones, but when I heard her story, because the story doesn't normally come out for the person until they're gone, they can't tell it while they're living because they don't get a chance to. But while they're gone, someone else has to speak for them. Why can't they get to speak for themselves? Why couldn't she have grown up to write a book about what she went through to inspire others? Is all I'm saying. Because these people who are adults and who are old and stuff like that, come on, you've lived your life. You had a chance to go through all the stuff you went through to have fun. So why would you rob these youth of that opportunity? What mentally is wrong with us? If I had the ways and means and I had known about this child, I would have scooped her up, held her in my arms, and I would have taken care of her the best way I could. But I can't do that on my own right now. I don't have the ways and the means to do that. But I sure enough would if I could. But I would find help. I would find proper help for that child if I knew, if the child came to me as a teacher, as a principal, anything like that. Now we're going to go back to the other girl I was saying, Renaya Wright. That's who I kept yelling about earlier. And I had the two girls mixed up. Okay, But we're going to talk about her next Wednesday. We're going to talk about her. Because that was a whole nother story. Now, her mom really cared about her. Her parents were there for her and stuff like that. That's a whole nother type of bullying that we're going to talk about. Oh, I'm talking about how our youth are being robbed from us. And you must know it. You must see it. Those of you that are blind realize that your own community is taking them away. So how can you get help if you don't help yourself? It's what I always talk about. You got to look within inside your home, inside your own communities before you go out and cast stones about this and that and this and that. And before it's too late and you sitting up on the news media saying, I can't find my child. Oh, who killed my child? Because it happened before and you weren't paying attention, was you? Next thing you know, your child went to school, got off a school bus, and then got shot by another peer of his own. Why are you not taking the time out to talk to your children? Why are you not taking the time out to tell them right from wrong? Because apparently they don't know it sometimes. And they don't care. They walk around cold-hearted, have no remorse, and kill other kids and other people of their own age, and they do it with no remorse. They have anger issues. They will beat a person down till they're dead and don't have any remorse. And I'm telling you, they don't have any remorse. How can they get so heartless? It's because they were raised that way. I'm serious. They were raised that way. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. You see these kids and they're locked up and then they go to court. And you see in their eyes in the court, they have no feeling. It's cold. They looking like whatever's clever with the weather. Where does the value of life come in at? Such a precious commodity thrown away. You value jewels. You value all these earthly goods and stuff like that more than you value your life, and your life is more valuable than any of those things. And you don't know it. You don't care about others' lives. You don't care about your own. I've talked about this before. Your life is more precious than stones, jewelry, and everything else. You don't care. You don't care. You know why? You go out there. You put yourself at risk. You go out there in harm's way, and you know you're going in harm's way, and you don't care. You risk it. Now, that's not the same as me going on a bungee jump because I want to live life to the fullest. No, that's my choice. Hey, nobody's taking it out on me. I'm doing that myself. I'm having fun myself. Hey, I know the risk. But when you go into harm's way purposely, I'm not going because I feel that I'm going to die. I'm going because I'm going to have fun bungee jumping or skydiving. Hey, and then I would have went out with a bang. But, walking down the street in danger zone. Where is it safe anymore? For our children. Back in the day when I was young, I could go out and play until the street light came on. And we go out and we was playing in the park. We didn't have to have our parents by us. We could go down the street to the park. We go up the street a few blocks over and play. You can't do that now. Don't you understand that? Your child cannot do what you used to do. So don't let them out there. I don't know why I would see a naked baby out on the street, not even 6, 7 months old, walking down that street by themselves. Where is your mommy and daddy? And how did you escape? Let's wake up, people. And then when your child is dead and gone and you sitting up there crying and going off and all over the caskets and stuff like that. Oh, yeah, I watched them. I watch them. You weren't paying attention before. Now you're going to pay attention. It's too late. It's too late for that. It's too late for her mom to say, oh, my baby this, oh, my baby that. You wasn't saying that all the little years of life that she had. You was not saying that. I'm just saying, and I'm not casting stones, but I am saying that if you are a parent, be a parent. If you don't want to be a parent, give your child to someone who does. Like me. No. I'm just saying, come on now. Sometimes when you know that you spit that baby out your belly, you know that at that point, your life has changed. And you've got to change with it. You've got to roll with the punches. You've got to be the best you can be for that child. because that child is going to do for you when you can't do for yourself. As long as you love it and respect it just like you should. How can you not love that child? How did it get to that point? Why would you sit up there watching your daughter almost kill yourself on a live stream and say that's what you get? Come on. Come on now. I'm going to find out what happened to that brother. I'm going to find out what happened to her baby brother because he was in that picture. Then you ain't see no more focus on him. But I'm going to find out what's happening to him because everything she spit out need to be taken from her because she obviously don't care. She can't care enough. And you going to say she fast. You going to choose a man over your children. You the one that's fast. Let me. Woosah. Yeah, I want y'all to look at that precious face right there. I don't care what she did as a child. Nothing could have been bad enough that would be her fate to die. She didn't kill nobody. She didn't harm anybody but herself. And not only that, she was sick. So, and you seen her in and out of hospital. I mean, come on. Make a wish. Make a wish. I'm serious. That's really what you could do. Make a wish. don't the kids or the people who think they're dying make a wish and get their wish to come true? I wish she was back here and she could live a good life. I wish all those that felt that they were that bad off, that took their lives, could come back and live their lives. Now, we can't save her, but maybe we can save maybe just a few more. I wish we could save them all, but some of them don't get to see my live because they too busy watching rump shakers or TikTok, goofing off. Nah, yeah, I just wish. Well, y'all, this concludes my live tonight. I hope it makes you think. I hope you rewind and watch that story and watch it again and again and again. And remember that there's a system out here that we trust for our kids. And if that system doesn't work, then maybe we should start helping our own kids. I don't know what more to say. But next week, we'll be talking about Renaya. Renaya Wright. She's the one that I was focused on. But that was the last case that I was studying. So we'll focus on her. This was the first case that I was looking up, and then I had forgot that I just twisted the names up. But Renaya will be next. And that's a messed up story too. And they still don't have the answers in what they want from that case. But I'm looking into this girl's eyes and I almost see a reflection of me. Not that I had went through all that she had went through, but the innocence that she had, the vibrance that she had. Why can't we be more aware? And if you have children, hold them a little tighter, a little closer. Talk to them about their feelings. Find out why they're acting out if they're acting out. It's a reason. And figure it out. Do your best to figure it out. And let them know that no matter what, you love them with all your heart. And that you want them to be the best that they can be. We have to do that. We cannot fail our children because they are our future. But the system sure did fail her. I mean, they muffed up. And yes, I'm going to blame it on her mama. I'm going to blame it on the system. And I'm going to blame it on everybody that came in contact with her that knew that this child was suffering. You didn't do nothing. But it was easy for you to pronounce her dead. It's easy to write that on a piece of paper, slap the body up, and throw it away. One less of us on this earth. If you know what I mean. And I'm not trying to be, I'm just saying, wake up, people. Anyway, I guess on that note, I will, I will, I will, I will leave now because I know that, no one's really watching anyway. But I know, but it's just, so since I got a few comments here from some of my gamers that I often support, but you know how it is. People don't have the time. They want you to support them, but they don't have the time to listen to some facts. They don't have the time to listen to a story like hers. That's so important to get out there to save someone else's life. And if you watch the story, which you can rewind my live again, you can rewind it. I'm on several different platforms that this is showing right now live. So when I click off and you can go back and review it, watch it carefully. Think about what he's saying. Think about what happened to her and how she was feeling. And I won't let her die in vain, which is why I'm focusing on her tonight. Because the system did. They didn't care. Facebook, social media watched her kill herself. And while they watched, all they did was taunt her. You didn't say, no, don't do it. Please don't do it. Let me help you. Give me a call. it was more of the taunts than it was the ones that tried to help her. And the news always tries to sugarcoat it a little bit. But the facts are right there on her page. Now, the news can sugarcoat as much as they want, but the facts are right there on their page. And those people that sat there and taunted her and said it was okay to do it, or go ahead, or we don't care, you a faker anyway, and all of this, a grown folk who take pleasure in stuff like that. I don't want y'all watching my live. Mm-mm. Y'all stay right over where you was in the hell zone, okay? I only want positive people watching my live. People who are going to listen. People who are going to feel uplifted. People who are going to help others, not tear them down. But if it was me and I saw that page, I'm not going to look it up because by now it's probably been taken down. But at the time that he did this research, I would have put them all out there. I would have put every last one of them out there. Because you know what? I don't want them on my page. Don't you come in my... And everybody does it. It's always somebody that's a Debbie Downer. They come into the lives. You know, I'm sitting up there playing, and I'm chatting with the host of the live, and they're going to say, don't say that. You going to get banned. I ain't been banned yet. I don't say enough to be banned. And if they send me those messages, they know better because I don't say enough to be banned. Now, me sitting up here telling the truth and telling this child's story, they might try to ban me for that because they don't want you to know the truth. They don't want you to know the harsh reality of what social media can do. But we see what it did to her. So let me shut my mouth before I get spanked. And, you know, let y'all go because I'm just saying. And I bid y'all farewell. Hey, we going into the new year. And when we go into this new year, everything's going to be new. Everything's going to be brand new. We're going to start off fresh. Yes, we're going to reach our goals. We're going to be okay. And I don't set unrealistic goals. No, I don't have fat resolutions. Fat, skinny resolutions. No, I don't do that. Those are not the resolutions I look for. I look for good health, wealth, prosperity for all. I don't care about my size because it's always going to fluctuate. I don't care. Now, you may care, and I don't care that you care. You keep that over there, okay? All you little, you know, I don't care. So, tomorrow I'll be gaming. I'll be in the city tomorrow. Friday, I'll be live again. What's Friday? Friday is New Year's Eve, ain't it? Yeah. Did I tell you? The year went by so fast, didn't it? Now, for the future, for January, January is my birth month. So therefore, in January, I will be focusing on all my business friends. So anyone I know that has a business and I have their card or I have something from them, I will be focusing on them, featuring them in my weekly lives. And this is because actually, as of last month, I was supposed to have the virtual fun networking virtual advertisement thing going. And I got too caught up in some stuff. So I'm still working on it. I just had to sit back a little bit. But for the month of January, I will be focusing on all my friends and family and everybody who has businesses. I'll be boosting. Not that y'all boost me, but that's bad, girl. Don't do that. I for an I don't work. But I will be boosting everyone that I know that has a business. I'll be putting them out there. Also, if you care a little bit about it, go to my Spankey1Gaming and go ahead and follow me. I need at least 50 more followers. That's my goal for the end of January. At least 50 more followers on Spankey1Gaming. Okay? Look it up. I just need to be up there on the list somewhere. 50 more followers can help me make a difference in life. Now, I got a whole pile of followers on my other channels and stuff, but now I'm focusing more on the Spankey1Gaming. So, you will see me gaming tomorrow. And, come by, stop by, see me up there. I have some good, funny content. Sapphire and Spanky, they be doing some funny mess, so, and I interact with a lot of different funny characters. So, I support all I'm focusing on everybody. That means not just the businesses, but the people who stream that I follow. You will be focused on too. So everyone's going to have some type of segment. I will be doing more interviews going into the new year. Oh, into the new year. Not going in, but into the new year. I will be doing a lot more interviews. And, I just want to make this year better for all, including myself. See, sometimes I focus so much. This was this past year. That's why it went by so fast. I focused on everybody else. I really did to the point where I drained myself out. I focused on everybody else, and now I'm going to focus a little bit more on me. I'm focusing on YouTube, but I still be focusing more on me and getting this ball rolling. Sometimes you got to do it. You just can't be charitable all your life. You just can't be giving and giving all your life. I mean, shoot. I'm going to the half mark next year. I will be turning the big pregnant O. The 5 that looks like a pregnant woman with the O. The 5-0. I will be turning 50. Oh my God. Can you believe it? No. I will be 50 and still alone. I will be 50 and still me. Consistently me. I mean, hey, it is what it is. You either love me or you hate me. But, I love me. That's all that matters. So, I'll be hitting that 50 mark. Good AARP. Wait, when you turn 50, can you get that free coffee at McDonald's? I hope so. I'm going to try it. 50. I'm gonna show them my ID. I hope I get that free coffee, a free meal, whatever. Senior citizens. Hey, now they get good deals, and I want them too. I've been waiting. I've been waiting a long time for this. 50. Oh my God, can you believe it? I don't. I mean, look at me. Do I look 50? Do I look 50, chat? Come on, tell me, do I look 50? Well, that's what I'll be turning is the big 50. At this point, it's over the hill from there. Over the hill and under the woods. To wherever house we go. And that's how it is. But anyway, let me get off of this here. I just don't want to leave y'all. I love you so much. And so much love to y'all from Spankey. Make sure you review this video. Go back, watch it. Listen to the facts. Think about it. We gotta think. Think about what you're trying to do to me and all that.